What was supposed to be a gamer's dream has turned into a nightmare. PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X's having serious issues with their consoles. We're going to discuss it right here. Platform Gamer Podcast starts right now. What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us here on this emergency broadcast here for Platform Gamer Podcast. Make sure you guys turn on that bell for all notifications, smash that like button, and make sure you leave us a comment and all that good stuff. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Platform Gamer P1, and make sure you are also liking us and following us also on Facebook at Platform Gamer Podcast, and check us out in our audio forms for Podbean and Spotify. So let's go ahead and get right into this thing, shall we? So
yes, let's.
So social media has been blowing up yesterday and today involving the Series X and the PlayStation 5s. Now, we were all excited. This has been what was supposed to be the greatest week out of this whole 2020 debacle that's been going on, not just in the video game world, but also, outside of the video game world with COVID-19 and everything else. And the one shining bright light that we had going on was the fact that we were going to get brand new consoles this year, not next year, but this year. The Series X and S from Microsoft and the PlayStation 5s were both released just 2 days apart, which was November 10th and November 12th. And from what we've been hearing from all the critics and all of the other podcasters that have gotten a hold of the system days, possibly a couple of weeks earlier, they've been giving these consoles nothing but praise. Now, just 2 to 4 days after its release on both of these consoles, a lot of fans have been really having issues with their consoles, and it has become a problem that is now angering a lot of people. And I know it has actually happened to you with your PlayStation 5. I have not experienced any of this yet because I haven't even hooked mine up yet. So I'm kind of fearful for it, but at the same time, I do want to go ahead and get this issue taken care of if it does. But yeah, as far as on the Xbox side, there have been people that have been posting videos on social media of their consoles making clicking sounds. There's console cutting on and off. We've had, some people's systems even catching on fire, having smoke coming out of the top of the fan area. And of course, on the PlayStation 5 side, there have been glitches with the console. Some people have even had issues with their disc versions. Now, I haven't heard much about the digital, but I know the disc versions, we've been starting to hear some rumblings. And Damar, you are one of them. Please explain to us what happened with your console.
Okay, so basically, as far as when it came to my PS5, one of the things I pretty much started having issues literally right from the jump. When I was in the setup page where it first starts off asking you one language, the first thing I noticed is that when it showed the picture of the controller down the side, I noticed it was like glitching around the controller. I was like, oh God. So I was like, okay, well, hopefully that was, hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it's just something I can kind of get over. So I go into the next menu part. Then all of a sudden, the entire screen starts having all these pixelating glitches all over the place. I get to the point where I have to insert a disc or continue without the disc. All of a sudden, PS5 instantly resets, brings me all the way back to select the language again. So I was like, okay. So I try going through it again. This time, I only get as far as choosing the whether you want to hook up the Ethernet or the internet to your system, or you just want to go without it instead of without any internet connection whatsoever. Resets once again.
Oh man.
So I'm like, okay, let me let me just restart it, give it a refresh restart, and see what happens. Same thing. So I
Mm,
get on board, I get on the phone call with Sony. They tell me that we go through the safe mode, in which case you just hold down the power button on the PlayStation 5, wait for 2 beeps, then release the power button. It'll bring up a list of 7 items where you can, from 1 through 7, reset the PS5. You can change your video output, update system software, restore default settings, rebuild the database, reset PS5, or reset PS5, i.e., reinstalling the system software. Okay. Um,
mhm,
and so the first thing we tried to do was we tried to pretty much just rebuild the database. So we tried that. Typically, it says that it takes, could take a few hours, but it only took like literally like a few seconds. And unfortunately, that did not solve the problem. So what the next thing that she told me was the fact that more than likely there's an update that I'll have to download, and I'll have to just install it manually and update the system itself uh, myself. So what I end up having to do is go on to PlayStation support and then download that. But then there are certain instructions in how you download it. You have to put into a folder called update and then port everything over. But of course, naturally, the PlayStation 5 is not going to just take any type of USB or external device as far as storage. So
mhm.
obviously, the first thing I tried was my PS4 external hard drive. Since I knew that one was already formatted, so I figured, okay, let's give that a try. Nope, PS5 doesn't read it, can't read it. So I tried just my regular USB. Now, given this one, I already kind of knew it wasn't going to work because it's NTFS,
Mhm.
so didn't read it whatsoever. So finally, I managed to reformat my thumb drive, which it has to be EX FAT, which I guess is also backwards compatible for Windows and Mac, so you can still read the disk, and read the thumb drive. So did that, and so well, I haven't physically completed it yet. I'm still waiting for the whole thing to complete. But once I get that reformatted, gonna put the stuff on there, and we're gonna hopefully that solves the issue. If that doesn't solve the issue, then that means it's not a software issue but more like a hardware issue. Me personally, I'm thinking it's a hardware issue because I'm thinking there's an issue with the motherboard or something. But still, that's just me jumping to conclusions. I don't know, but
Mhm.
that's pretty much where I'm sitting at as far as for that.
Now, this is a problem because we've waited so long for these consoles to come out, and we've been they've been dancing around the price. They've been doing all these different things, and uh, it's just a lot of problems. Just even trying to pre-order a console right now has been the problem. And what sucks is that if you've waited all this time to get a console, you finally get the console, and then the console is not working to the way it's supposed to. That's an issue, which we've all assumed that these companies knew. With COVID and everything, they could have just taken their time, be like, hey, we can just release this thing next year. Let's make sure all the bugs and all the, everything, all the kinks are worked out. But they wanted to make sure that their consoles was out. And I understand that from a business perspective, you want to get your product out there as soon as you can, but still supposed to work properly. And I think, you know, with both of these companies having issues, I'm sure, these companies will take care of people's issues once they get them addressed. So the one that concerns me though is the Xbox, because I have been trying to pre-order mine or trying to buy one, and they haven't released any more consoles since its release date back on the 10th. Now I haven't heard of any shortages that they were having, so I didn't quite understand what the issue was. Why it's been like 4 days and they still haven't sent out any consoles. I understand it's sold out, and it really sucks too, on top of all of that, that these companies are making these retailers have people purchase these things online. Like a lot of them are making them pay for them online only. Like you can't go to the store, you have to be online in those stores to purchase them. which a lot of people are like, okay, I don't understand why you're having us do that, knowing scalpers are out there and they're ready to take those consoles. But, that's for a whole nother subject in itself. But nevertheless, the issues with these consoles is bad. Like I said, I've seen some videos on social media, especially on my Twitter page, of Xboxes. A guy was afraid to plug his console in inside the house, so he took it outside. And he was afraid to plug it in, so he did it anyway. Plugged in his Xbox, turned it on, and it started to work okay. And he was like, "Oh, it's working." And then next thing you know, you start to see smoke coming out of the console, and he immediately unplugged it. These are issues that need to be addressed ASAP. If your console, let's say your console is in rest mode, you know what I'm saying, and you decide to, you're in the middle of a game, you decide, I'm going to go fix something to eat. Maybe you decide to go out and go pick up a pizza or something. I mean, most of the time they'll deliver it, but for myself, I have to go to Little Caesars and go pick it up. But, even if it's a short drive, you leave to go pick it up, you come back, the fire department and everybody else is at your house and your house is on fire. Now, I'm not saying something like that could happen, but potentially you don't want to be put in a situation where it could. You know what I'm saying? So if Xbox is releasing a lot of smoke, and making clicking sounds and blowing fuses and things like that, that's a real issue with me. So I'm going to hold off now on trying to get an Xbox Series X until I can get these things figured out. I'm confident that both Sony and Microsoft will get these issues addressed. I mean, they're seeing it all over social media, so they're obviously paying close attention to what's going on. And we'll see how it goes from here. But nevertheless, this is a serious issue. Now, again, I have not tried my console yet. I am planning on doing an unboxing of mine on Sunday, which I may not do that just so I can make sure my console works to begin with. But nevertheless, we'll see how that one plays out. But Damar, I am so sorry to hear that. And for anybody else that's been having issues with their console, I'm very, very sorry to hear that. It is regrettably unfortunate. Thankfully, you guys just got the consoles. So regardless, you should be able to, if it is hardware issues, you'll be able to send them out and the companies will be able to send you new ones and it won't cost you guys a thing. So that's one good thing. The only problem is, when is that going to happen? Because they're having a hard time keeping consoles in stock to begin with. Now you got to try and send your console back to get another one. And if they can't get them in stock fast enough, you know what I'm saying, how long do you have to wait before you get another one? And I think that will be one issue that I hope they do get addressed. Any more thoughts on that, Damar?
Yeah, I know that when it comes to warranties and things of that nature, usually the turnaround time, especially given the fact that we're still dealing with the COVID and everything else, you are going to be looking at delays as far as for that. Um, Another thing to also keep in mind is the fact that, like I said, for some of you guys, maybe all you need to do is just update your PS5 software and then you'll be good to go. As far as for those of you who are having issues with your Xbox Series X's, I know there have been some reports that say, especially more than likely, many of you are having issues revolving around the disc tray. It seems a lot of the noise, the whirling sounds, a lot of it tends to emanate from that. Some people said that the sounds and issue tends to go away when they sit it on the side or just position it in a different way as opposed to how it's originally made. Sometimes that makes it go away. Um, I know that um, I also read some of the reports about people blowing vape into the Xbox and making it look like it's smoke, but this is outside the fact. I just wanted to get that part out there. Yes, we did hear
Right.
about that. You
Yep.
know,
Some of them have been hoaxes.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it seems like they're having these issues due to the fact that, I mean, like we said, they're working with very high premium parts as far as when it comes to high um, high graphics part, the high graphics cards and things of that nature. So you're looking at components that are pushing a lot of power. So I don't know. Maybe the design is flawed. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just not configured properly to keep everything cool. Maybe the fans are already overworked. Maybe it's just producing too much heat right from the start because there is a lot of stuff going on. I know people have been hearing a lot of sounds when it comes to installing games. Some people's Xboxes have been shutting off while in the middle of a game,
Mm-hmm.
just because of all the processing power that's happening under the hood. As far as for the PlayStation 5s, you know, I haven't heard really anything beyond anything that seems to more revolve around software issues, nothing as far as hardware wise yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed. As far as the issues with people having with their were trying to get their hands on the PS5. I have heard a couple of things that there are some retailers that legitimately said they are not going to get restocked on PS5s until next year.
Okay.
So
So, yeah, that's this whole situation is crazy. And we've all been, you know, we're all having to deal with everything that's been going on with this year. And this is just another, just another little bit of salt to put on the wound of this 2020 year. Um, we're already seeing a lot of things beginning to get into motion as far as possible more nationwide lockdowns with the increasing number of COVID cases that have been happening. But some of them I don't think are really COVID cases. I think some of them really are just colds and flus, and that's it. But, they're going to find a way to spin it and get everybody all up in arms. But the bigger issue is why is Sony and Microsoft having these issues? I mean, like I said, content creators have had these. In fact, some of my favorite podcasters that I've been listening to, they've had, their consoles, at least one of them have had the Xbox for over a month and have had no issues with it. So maybe it's just the luck of the draw. Maybe a bad batch got out. Who knows? So I think it's early to really write these companies out. And some people even knew, like, hey, it's first generation. These kind of things are going to happen. Yes, they are going to happen.
And I did mention that.
Yes, you did mention that. And so, we all had high hopes. Like, I haven't heard any problems or anything. So this is the first group of issues that we've been hearing and seeing from these consoles. So I'm hoping it's going to be a big turnaround and things will get better. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can continue to be on their happiest when it comes to gaming. Because, I mean, let's face it, we've been waiting for something new for a while, and it's definitely time. But from what we've been hearing, both consoles, at least the ones that people have that have worked, the consoles have absolutely performed at their best. And this is the best next gen has ever been. And so that's still something to be excited about. That's still something to look forward to. And I think everything will work itself out. We just have to, JHF made a good point. All good. I'm just staying positive, and I will have hope to be able to get one. So, but hey, that's good. That's good. And that's what we want. We want people to stay positive. We've already got enough bad going on in the world. And I know we've all paid so much money for these consoles, and we expect them to work on day one. And, that's not always the case. So, just stay positive, make sure you get a hold of Microsoft and Sony if you're having issues. Don't just go and return them to the stores just yet. Go ahead, see what they can do about fixing your problems and getting these issues taken care of. Because what the store may not be able to do, they can. So, let's find a way to stay positive and keep things, in a good light. Things will work itself out. We just have to believe. As gamers, we have to believe.
Yeah.
So
But
did you have anything more, Damar?
not much more. I mean, we'll definitely keep you guys in the loop to see exactly what Microsoft and Sony are doing as far as addressing these issues, especially Microsoft, especially. But yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys in the loop. Like I said, I'm troubleshooting my own stuff as well, so hopefully I'll be able to get you guys some game content. I was planning on getting Demon Souls going, but not right now.
I know.
So
I was looking forward to seeing it too.
yeah, but in due time, in due time, So like I said, and a couple podcasts ago, when I say, don't be in a hurry, no rush. You already see all the problems happening right now. Hey, be lucky you didn't invest in all that, because you might be going through the same thing right now. So by the time they get all this stuff, under the rug and get everything solved, then we can finally be happy and game the way we know we should be. So
yeah, and again, I'm sure we all know Microsoft and Sony are gonna do their absolute best to correct these issues, and as long as it's being addressed and they're seeing this, and it's good that people are putting it out there so that they do see this. And again, there's some of them that are just they're just being punks and wanting to, some of them are Sony fanboys or Xbox fanboys, and they're trying to go after each console. So, in fact, I just recently seen somebody that bought a console and then turned around and destroyed it on purpose. Like I don't get the mentality on that, but
that's ridiculous.
I guess whatever kittens your caboodle on that. Yeah. I'm not spending $400 or $500 on a console, even $300 on a console, and then turning around and breaking it just to prove a point. Trying to get some type of 5 minutes of fame or some stupid crap like that. It's like they already got your money now. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, we really need to put the console wars thing to rest. I mean,
yes.
I believe there was actually a report where Microsoft actually congratulated Sony.
I did see that. Yes.
Versa. So it's no hard feelings. Yeah, during the time they were taking jabs at each other left and right, but it's competitive jabs. You know what I'm saying?
They're not really trying to see each other fail, because they want competition. They need competition. That's what keeps them motivated. That's what keeps their drive going. And that's what keeps all of us gamers going. That keeps us wanting more, because of the competitive nature between Microsoft and Sony, and even Nintendo. And Nintendo's not really, technically in this fight. It is not really a fight, but, Nintendo is kind of just like, look, we just doing our own thing. If y'all like us, please buy us, and they've produced some good things as well. So nevertheless, consoles are going to be consoles. We're all going to go out and enjoy them. I still think, even with all of these issues, I still think owning an Xbox Series X or an S and a PlayStation 5 or even a Nintendo Switch is still the best investments you can do in this day and age right now. Because I'm telling you, when stuff craziness hits the fan, we know we've got our consoles as a backup plan. You get stuck in the house. That's what kept me from being bored, was being on my PS4 most of the time. So I didn't even notice it. So, but I'm a homebody anyway, so it really doesn't matter to me. But anyway, that's pretty much all we got. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this emergency broadcast. This was something that we wanted to do and get out there, as fast as possible. So that way, more people can, and, more people would know about the issues that's going on. And if you've had issues yourself, please comment below and do our comment section here on YouTube. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Damar has the subscribe pillow in the background. You guys see it. Y'all know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications and hit that bell and smash that like button. Again, we are also on Twitter and Instagram at Platform Gamer P1, and you can find us on Facebook at Platform Gamer Podcast. You can listen to us in audio form. Doesn't matter if you're cutting the grass, shoveling snow, going to work, going to the gym, drinking, having a drink in your car, chilling in the parking lot, waiting for somebody to get out of work so you can pick them up, riding your bike, whatever. I just made a whole list of stuff. You can listen to us on our audio form on Podbean and Spotify. Just look into the search engine and follow us on both of those, and you will find us by putting in the search engine of Platform Gamer Podcast. Thank you guys so much once again for joining us. You guys take care. We'll see you all next time.